Hey guys, Akil here. Welcome back to the Trading Coach Podcast. In today's episode, we're going to talk about what it takes to be great at trading. Now, before we hop into it, I want to remind you guys on November 14th, which is coming up in a few days, we have a free 1-week online trading workshop. It's absolutely free. It is 100% online. All you have to do is go to our website, www.tier1trading.com to register. You can attend, you can learn, and you can get started on your own path to trading greatness. Now, let's talk about this topic, greatness. And maybe greatness is the wrong word because you don't have to be a great trader. I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions out there is that everyone wants to be the superstar, right? It's no different than sports, right? Everyone wants to be the Tom Brady. Everyone wants to be the Messi, the Ronaldo, the Holland. Everyone wants to be the LeBron James, the Steph Curry, the Kevin Durant. And the truth is only a small percentage of traders are actually going to reach that level of superstardom, right? We have a lot of conversations with Mike Bellafiore and the boys over at S&B Capital, and we talk about kind of the churn of traders that they go through. And the majority of the traders that are there don't become superstars. The majority of them either fail out, they become average traders, but out of those few, there are a handful that become the superstars. And I don't say this to put a dampen on your dreams. I think you should always try to be great. That should be the end goal. But what I don't want you thinking is I don't want you thinking that you're a failure if you're just good, right? There are plenty of role players on teams. There are plenty of people that have very successful professional careers where they play for 10, 15, even 20 years, depending on the sport. Maybe they're never superstars, but they're good enough to always make the team. They're good enough always to get minutes. They're good enough to be a very important role player on that team. And that is success in its own right. So I think it's very important to understand what do you want to use trading for and to judge your success off of that, not just compared to the biggest names in the game, the superstars out there. So to be great or to be good and even just to survive in trading, what does it take? And the answer is simple. It takes practice, right? Practice? We're talking about practice here, to quote the great Allen Iverson. I'm a Philly boy, so I grew up on that type of stuff. But yeah, it takes practice, right? Trading is like, any other skill out there. The more you practice, the better you will get. And the idea for this podcast came up for a few reasons. One, I coach traders, I coach track and field, and there are similarities in how I coach, right? I'm a very hands-on coach. I'm very technical driven. On the trading side, it's talking about the charts and the process. On the track and field side, it's talking about, physically moving your body the right way in physics and biomechanics and all that fun stuff. But I'm very technical, and I do a lot of film review on both ends. Again, on the trading side, right? People send me charts. We break down trading plans. We break down opportunities every day in the live room. We talk about not just what's happening, but why it's happening. And we try to develop based on that, right? That repetition of coming in every single day and breaking down film essentially. For track and field, I do the same thing, right? Everything is filmed at practice. And what I do is either at practice, right, hands-on, or after practice, we will review the film. So occasionally I'll put down or put together these films where I'll look at it, I'll critique, and I'll send it to the group. And what's interesting is this, right? I've been doing this for 16 years, both coaching traders and coaching athletes. And again, both sides are exactly the same. The vast majority of the people that become successful are the ones that are really nerdy about the small stuff, right? So the ones that don't really ask questions, the ones that don't take time to look at film on the track side of things, typically they don't become too successful, right? On the trading side of things, people that don't attend the Q&A sessions, people that don't attend the live rooms, people that don't send me charts or put themselves out there, right? They tend not to become successful, right? The ones that are the most successful are what I call the quote unquote annoying ones, the ones that are always in my email, that are always in my messages, that are always shooting me, always, talking to me, sending me text messages, whatever, asking about this. Hey, what about this? What about that? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Those are the ones that tend to be successful because they are super hungry for knowledge. I even think about my kids, right? I share with you my journey of fatherhood, and both my little guys are playing soccer right now. And it's interesting because as of this moment, I think my youngest is going to be better than my oldest. And one of the reasons I say that is because my oldest is good and he's picking up a new passion for it. He loves to play all the time. But my youngest, he plays all the time. Like whether if we're in the basement kicking a ball around, if we're at his older brother's game, we're kicking a ball around the field right now. And how do I know it's right now? Because he literally does this when he sleeps about 10 hours. So about 14 hours a day, he does this. He takes like a little stuffy, like a stuffed animal, and he just kicks it across the room, like, imagining that he's in a soccer game and he's working on moves. Like, he never stops. It's incredible. And me and Jason were talking about this the other day about trading success and some of our experiences over the years, and the fact that, it's pretty obvious it takes practice to be successful. And, that's a no-brainer. But the question is, why aren't, if the formula is that simple, if it just takes practice to be more successful at trading, then why aren't people more successful? Why don't they just practice more? Well, that's where the hard part comes in. This is where the biggest divider, the biggest obstacle comes in, right? In order to practice and invest the consistent amount of energy and time into doing practice, you have to be passionate about what you're doing, very passionate about what you're doing, meaning you love it, or I should say or, because it really is a combination of both, or you have to be very motivated and very self-motivated. And I'll tell you what, it's hard to consistently be self-motivated if you aren't passionate about the thing that you're trying to motivate yourself to do, right? Going back to the track and field reference, right? It's funny, we talk all the time where it's like, man, like, athletes, you guys come out here, I give you workouts, you run, you get tired, you go lift and you feel sore. Like, why are we doing this, right? And it's the biggest difference between athletes and non-athletes, right? Non-athletes are smart enough to be like, wait a minute, I'm coming out here every day, I'm investing, I'm taking time out of doing something else to come out here and put myself in a massive amount of pain only to come back the next day and do it again, right? This doesn't make sense. Like, where is the reward in this? Where athletes are built a little bit different. We're a little bit crazy, a little bit psycho, where it's like, yeah, I'm taking time out the day to punish myself. And as I get better, the punishments will get worse. And I'm going to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And we always wonder, like, why the hell do we do all this stuff? And one, it is because we're a little bit crazy. But two, we're passionate about it. We love it. It's the same reason, people like, I love cooking. I know a lot of my friends hate cooking. They get home and they're like, oh man, long day of work. And now I got to make dinner. Like, I love cooking. I love going through the process of making food, even if it takes like an hour to do, because that is a passion of mine, right? You can think about any other hobby or any other thing that you might be passionate about, whether it's arts and crafts, whether it's, crocheting or something like that, or knitting, right? Whatever you're passionate about, you're able to find that self-motivation to do what you need to do, even if it means sacrificing something else. So if you want to be a successful trader, you have to be passionate about the market. I truly believe that. You have to enjoy the market, enjoy the game, enjoy the puzzle. I always tell traders this, right? How do I know that I was passionate about the market? Well, because I was bad for a very, very long time. Just like the track reference, how I take time out of doing something else to put myself in pain only to come back and do it again. Well, I took time out of doing something else, right? For me, it was like watching movies and gaming and working out. Those are the things that I was big on back in the day. I took time out of that social life, going out with my friends, right? I took time away from that to focus fully on my trading, only to lose a lot of money every day, only to come back the next day, make the same sacrifice and lose even more money. And I kept doing this over and over and over and over and over again. And it's like, either I'm crazy or I'm some type of addicted gambler, or I'm just passionate about the markets. And for me, it was passionate about the markets. But that passion is what allowed me to come back every day and work and work and work. And like, if you can imagine like success being a door or whatever like that, or a project, keep building the project and failing, then keep building the project and failing, and keep building the project and failing. It reminds me of, I forgot that movie. I think was it Day of the Dawn? It was like Tom Cruise and some girl where, each day, was it End of Tomorrow? I don't know, some movie where like each day started over. Like he was in this war, Tomorrow War, I don't know. He was in this war and then he would get killed or she would get killed. and then boom, the day would start over, and then he would enter the same place. And each time he would do it, he would do something else and then die. And then he'd restart the day and do something else and get a little bit further and then die. And then restart the day and get a little bit further and then die, right? Trading is like that. We're just chipping away, waking up every day knowing we're probably going to die, only to have the hope of one day figuring it out. And the cool thing is that when we figure it out, right, not saying the job is done, right? We have to maintain our hunger, maintain our passion. In my opinion, we have to work even harder to maintain success versus just achieving success, because the motivation is different, right? But once we unlock it, we can change our lives forever. We can change our lives forever. I go back and count my years, right? 2 years of struggle, which seemed like the longest, torturous 2 years of my life. 14 years of success. Now that 2 years seems like a blip, right? Because I unlocked it. I sacrificed 2 years to unlock 14 years, and hopefully I have many years in the future. But you need to ask yourself that question before you get too deep into trading. Do I have what it takes? And when I say do you have what it takes, it's not the skill level, because none of us are skilled, right? None of us know what trading is. Most of us are new to this, or if we weren't, we'd be successful. But do I have what it takes to be self-motivated? Do I have what it takes to get knocked down and come back every day? Do I have what it takes to be disciplined? Do I have what it takes to be willing to sacrifice? Do I have what it takes to be willing to kind of put my shame out there and ask questions that may seem dumb and just fully invest myself in the process of being good? And if you're truly passionate about the markets and or what the markets can bring you, it should be a no-brainer. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Remember, 1 week free online trading workshop starting November 14th. If you are new and you want to get started on your path to success, I recommend checking out this workshop. We're going to talk a lot about technicals. We're going to talk a lot about psychology. We're going to bring in some very special guests, talk about the overall fundamental lay of the land, and we're going to talk about what it takes to be a consistently profitable trader. We've been coaching for 12 years, and trust me when I say we know what it takes. So November 14th, registration is open now, www.tier1trading.com, and I'll see you there.